While many farmers cannot find affordable land to grow food, a different kind of agricultural industry has been quietly acquiring vacant sugar and pineapple fields across the state.
If we look at the agriculture sector in Hawaii, the reality is right now very little of it is about producing basic food for the people. Our biggest single agriculture sector is seeds, and not, it's not for consumption, it's for research on genetic modification and so on, mainly for mainland companies.
The seed industry has grown, huge in the last 4 or 5 years. And Hawaii has become a focal point for the seed industry. One, because it has environment, the conditions are ideal.
I like the seed business, being a seedsman. I enjoyed that. It's a fascinating science, and it serves a good purpose.
Today we have all of the seed industry companies here.
The seed industry is unique in that we're not marketing a product, we're marketing climate. To develop a new type of corn takes about 9 to 12 generations from seed to seed. So if you do it on the mainland, it takes 9 to 12 years to develop that. If you come to Hawaii, you can do it in 4.5 to 6 years. It takes half the time. The seed goes back to the companies, and we're not producing seed for sale here, but we're producing seed for research purposes.
Every single bag that goes on a barge has a sign on it. It says, unfit for human consumption. I mean, there's something wrong with that picture.
I think the seed companies, especially Monsanto, care about who we are, what we're doing. We're a farmer just like the small farmer down the road. We have the same challenges.
I think one of the main concerns about genetically engineered agricultural crops in Hawaii is that seed tends to be promiscuous. Pollens of plants move freely in air, wind, insects, birds, animals, and human intervention moves pollen around. You really cannot contain anything in the natural world. It's just messy. And so it ends up in places with unintended consequences. What is the payoff for the state of Hawaii when this will not give us any food security for the future? These are seeds of foods that we cannot eat.
So why are we growing it? Okay, let's answer that question one day.
It has become the number one crop in the state of Hawaii, and the value of that crop today is rated at $176.2 million, and which is very significant for Hawaii.
Well, with any new technology, there's risks and there's gain and then there's advantages, and you have to weigh those, and you balance the scale. I mean, you have to be careful, but the advantages, I feel, outweigh the risks. A lot of people don't.
We're isolating our crops, especially the high technical areas. We're isolating them so that we ensure that we're not being impacted by others and vice versa.
In 2006, a federal court ruled that a permit issued to Monsanto and other seed companies to grow pharmaceutical crops in Hawaii violated the Endangered Species Act. Approving the permit demonstrated, quote, utter disregard, end quote, of Hawaii's endangered and threatened species.
Our total footprint here in Hawaii is about 9,000 acres.
5,000 of these acres are on Oahu's Central Plain. It represents nearly 1/3 of all remaining prime farmland for food crops on Hawaii's most populated island. On Moloka'i, the issue is water.
I'm concerned that we don't have enough water for agriculture. We have about 10,000 acres of land in this central area. We have enough water for about 2,500 acres.
I think one of our biggest obstacles is water. Every year, Moloka'i goes into a water drought. Right now, we're in a mandatory water cutback.
The ag water, certain time will just say you can't use too much. You're going to have to cut back.
The concern is when push comes to shove, do we irrigate the food crops and forget about the non-food crops?
They've increased our water rates from 31 cents to 42 cents a 1,000 gallons. It's almost unheard of to have a farmer farming at that water rate. To me, it's unfair what's being put on the burden of the farmers on Moloka'i.
If we want to be sustainable, we need to watch where our water is going. You know, you're taking water away from growing food. How are we going to be sustainable and not import 90% of our food? We got to get serious.
The idea that we have put a lot of eggs in the genetically modified basket is really scary. Genetically modified seed production is the industrial model of agriculture. And the industrial model of agriculture will not feed Hawaii. And you can look at the sugar industry and then the pineapple industry and you can see what happened as the market conditions changed. Sugar up and left, pineapple up and left. It's not unusual to think in the future that genetically modified corn production will grow, and then all of a sudden they'll find a cheaper place to do it and leave.
We're committed to Hawaii. We're invested here and we're here to stay.
Will they move away 50 years from now? I don't know, but I know them. I know a lot of them in the industry, in Monsanto and Pioneer. I feel they want to do the right thing, but yet they run a business.